الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه من والاه. أما بعد فنتابع we continue our class in going over the book الأجوبة الوادعية على الأسئلة النسائية, the answers of Sheikh Muqbil bin Hadi al-Wadi'i rahimahullah on questions from the women. And we're still in the chapter regarding verdicts connected to the matters of the menses, pregnancy, and bleeding after giving birth. So, تقول السائلة ما حكم حبوب منع الحمل? What is the ruling regarding taking pills to prevent pregnancy? يقول الشيخ رحمه الله, so الشيخ رحمه الله, he said, الذي يظهر أنه لا يجوز. What appears to us is that it is not permissible. ويستعمل العزل الذي رخص فيه رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم. And rather one should use natural ways rather than which the Messenger صلى الله عليه وسلم mentioned that it is permissible. أما الحبوب فأضرارها عظيمة. As for taking pills, then they are very harmful. فربما تصاب المرأة بالالتهاب. It might cause infections. وربما أيضا بالسرطان كما ذكره صاحب كتاب تحديد النسل, فيقتصر على تنظيم النسل, وهو كتاب قيم ننصح باقتنائه. He said this is a beneficial book that we advise and recommend that people should own, which is the book. He said this is the reference of that is from the book regarding these matters of preventing pregnancy and preventing giving birth and the likes. قال فيقتصر على العزل الذي ورد عن النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم. So rather one should use the natural ways that the Messenger صلى الله عليه وسلم permitted. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala يقول وما كان ربك نسيا. And your Lord says, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the meaning of the ayah, and your Lord does not forget, and rather He is the all-knowing. فما قال إذا جاء ما يغني عن العزل فلا بأس بذلك. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala did not tell us that if something came that can be a replacement of al-azl, the natural ways of preventing pregnancies, then there's no harm in it. قال هذا هو الذي ينبغي. This is what is befitting. وأضرار الحبوب عظيمة. And there are many harms of taking those pills and medication to prevent pregnancy. ثم إن النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم يقول ما من نسمة يخلقها الله إلا وهو خالقها. The Messenger صلى الله عليه وسلم, he said that there is not even a wind that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala creates except that He will create it. أي إذا قدر الله خلقها, meaning if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has decreed for it to be created, فهي كائنة لا محالة. It will happen no matter what. حتى إنهم يقولون ربما يخرج الولد مشوها. Rather they say that the child, that because of taking pills to prevent pregnancy, it might cause birth defects in the child. فالمهم الذي رخص فيه رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم هو خير. What the Messenger صلى الله عليه وسلم mentioned is permissible is better. والحبوب أضرارها عظيمة. And there are many harms to those pills and medication. والله المستعان. And we seek the help and the aid of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. قال وننصح بقراءة ذلكم الكتاب الطيب الذي هو تنظيم النسل. He once again recommended reading and going over the book called تحديد النسل, connected to this matter, specifically to the matter of preventing pregnancy. على كل حال مسألة حبوب منع الحمل قد تكلم فيها العلماء. The matter of taking medication to prevent pregnancy is something that the people of knowledge have spoken about. أفتى فيها الشيخ ابن باز رحمه الله وغيره من أعضاء اللجنة الدائمة. Sheikh Ibn Baz and other than him from the scholars of the permanent committee have spoken regarding this matter. So Sheikh Ibn Baz rahimahullah, he mentioned specific conditions. He said as for the use of pills and medication to prevent pregnancy, he said that depends. Using it because of using it because of that. For example, a woman has recently given birth, and it would be difficult for her and a burden upon her to have one child after another, so she takes them for a period of time and then she stops. There's no harm, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. He said with the condition that it is under that it is approved by her doctor, a trustworthy doctor, someone who is trustworthy and someone who knows what they are doing, and they recommend it to her, then inshallah there's no harm, because as they say, they have been tested and some of them are effective and have little harm bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. So from that perspective, Shaykh rahimahullah and other than him from the people of knowledge, they say that those pills, if they are recommended by doctors and the doctors confirm that their harm is very limited, or that they have no harm, or that their side effects are temporary, then the people of knowledge, they say they take the same ruling as al-azl, as the natural ways of preventing pregnancy bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. Now, and Shaykh rahimahullah and other than him, they say this should not be the permanent thing, meaning that she permanently and regularly just continues to take medication to prevent pregnancies for the purpose specifically of not wanting to become pregnant at all and not give birth. Then that should not be the case, and rather it should be something that is temporary, for a period of time. For example, she doesn't want any children, she doesn't want to give birth for a year or two or something like that. Inshallah, there is no harm in that case. Now, تقول السائلة: امرأة استمر بها الحيض من بداية بلوغها ولم ينقطع، والدم لونه دم حيض، لونه لون دم الحيض، وعرفه كذلك، فماذا تصنع في الصلاة? So the sister, she asked, a woman who has continuous bleeding, continuous menses, from the beginning, from the time she started having her menses, from the time she reached puberty, and her bleeding never stops, and the color of the blood is the color of the menses blood, and likewise its smell is the same. What does she do in regards to her prayer? يقول الشيخ رحمه الله: هي تعتبر مستحاضة. The Shaykh rahimahullah, he said she is considered to have bleeding other than her menses, meaning this is a vein and not her menses. وينبغي لها قبل كل شيء أن تعرض نفسها على الأطباء للعلاج. He said first of all she should go to the doctors and see if she can be treated, if this can be treated. وتعتبر مستحاضة, and this is considered a vein, and that it is bleeding, not natural or bleeding, not her regular menses. فتمكث قدر عادات قريباتها لأنه ليس لها عادة فأصبحت لا تميز. He said therefore she should await the period of time that other women, other girls within her age group, they sit and wait and consider that to be her menses, meaning she follows their menses because she has no specific period that is known to her. فترجع إلى عادات قريباتها, so she goes back to the menses and to the period of her relatives, كما ورد هذا في الحديث, as is mentioned in a hadith. Or she waits for 6 or 7 days, أو تمكث 6 أو قال 7. So she waits 6 or 7 days. الله أعلم بذلك. Allah knows best in regards to that. أي تعتبرها حيضا, meaning she considers that to be her menses. ثم بعد ذلك فالباقي تصلي وتصوم. After that, and she is considered to be pure, meaning that she is not in her menses other than those 6 or 7 days that she chooses, and rather she prays and she fasts. ويجوز لزوجها أن يأتيها, and it is permissible for her husband to have a relationship with her. فهي تعتبر مستحاضة, and she is considered to be considered to be blood of a vein and not her menses. إذن نقول بارك الله فيكم، وقد سئلت عن هذا من قبل في بعض الدروس السابقة, and we mentioned we were asked about this before. I was asked about this in some of the previous classes within this series regarding the woman who has istihada, the woman who has continuous bleeding. What does she do? She has one of three situations, and she has to go in this specific order. First one is that she can tell and differentiate between the blood of her menses and other blood. This is her first situation. So فالمرأة إما أن تميز الدم، وهذا الحال الأول لها، أن تميز الدم، أن تميز لونه أو ريحه. So she can recognize the blood that this is her menses, meaning that she recognizes its smell or its color. She knows that this is her menses. فبهذه الحالة تعتبر نفسها تتحيض في هذه الأيام التي يأتيها دم الحيض الذي تميزه. So in this case she considers those days that she has her regular menses blood to be her period, to be her days of menses. ثم بعد ذلك كما ذكرنا في دروس ماضية بعد ذلك تغتسل من حيضها ثم تتوضأ لكل صلاة وتعتبر طاهرة، ولكنها تتوضأ لكل صلاة ويجوز وتصلي وتصوم ويجوز لزوجها أن يجامعها في غير هذه الأيام التي فيها دم الحيض. So she is considered, after those days that she recognizes the blood of her menses, she is considered to be pure after them. So she takes a bath after finishing her menses. After that blood of her menses finishes, she takes a bath for purification from her menses, and she prays and fasts, and her husband can have a relationship with her. طيب إذا لم تميز الدم، مثل سؤال هذه السائلة الذي مر معنا، هي لا تميز الدم والدم نفسه في كل وقت. So the second type is she is unable to recognize her blood, the menses blood, such as in this question that this woman asked. She cannot recognize it. It's the same blood throughout the month. فماذا تفعل؟ هنا إما أن تكون لها عادة تعرفها. Here she either has a specific period, a specific time for her menses that she knew from before. يعني هذه العادة التي تميزها أو تعرفها من قبل أن تأتيها هذه الاستحاضة. تعرف عادتها، تعرف أيام حيضها. So she knows her specific days of her menses from before she started having this blood of vein. ففي هذه الحالة تترك الصلاة والصيام وزوجها لا يطأها في هذه الأيام، في أيام حيضتها التي كانت تعرفها قبل أن تستحاض. So in that case, she leaves the prayer and the fasting, and she considers herself to be in her menses, so her husband cannot have a full relationship with her, cannot have specifically intercourse with her during those days of her menses that she knew from before she started having bleeding. So she uses those same days that she used to have as her days of menses. والحالة الثالثة إذا لم يكن لها، لم تميز الدم ولم يكن لها عادة تعرفها. So the third situation is she cannot recognize the blood. She does not see specific blood of the menses, and she does not have specific days that she used to have for her menses. وهذا هو سؤال هذه السائلة التي سألت الشيخ والذي قرأنا جواب الشيخ رحمه الله عنها. And this is specifically the question of the woman, the sister who asked this question to the Shaykh رحمه الله. طيب هذه الحالة الثالثة. This is the third situation. هذه المرأة أتاها الحيض أو أتتها الاستحاضة عفوا منذ بلوغها، حاضت أو جاءها الدم ولم ينقطع. So for example, in this specific question, the sister, she said that she started having bleeding from the time she had, she hit puberty. So she started bleeding and it never stopped with her. وَلَمْ تَسْتَطِعْ أَن تُمَيِّزَ الدَّمَ, and she's unable to recognize specific blood of menses. So she is continuously bleeding. She is continuously bleeding and there's no specific blood of her menses. فماذا تفعل؟ في هذه الحالة تتحيض 6 أيام أو 7 أيام أو يعني تقلد قريباتها من النساء فتتحيض بعدد أيام حيضهن. So she chooses 6 or 7 days, or she follows the same days of the period of some of her relatives. She uses the same days as her days of menses. وبعد ذلك إذا انقضت هذه الأيام, after that, when those days are over, فإنها تغتسل, she takes a bath, وتصلي وتصوم, and she prays and she fasts, ويجوز لزوجها أن يطأها, and it is permissible in that case for her husband to have a relationship with her. والله تعالى أعلى وأعلم. ونكتفي بهذا المقدار، وصلى الله وسلم وبارك على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين.